Beyond the borders of the living world, where the sunlight fails to reach and time itself seems suspended, there stretches a legendary realm. In this kingdom of shadows, the air is heavy and still, pierced by the whispers of souls departed from the living. Endless plains of pale asphodel spread under a sunless sky, and bodiless phantoms wander these grey fields. This is Hades, the underworld of Greek mythology, and the final resting place of every mortal soul. From far away, one can hear the roar of an accursed river and the distant growl of a monstrous hound, signs that we are close to the gates of a realm at once fascinating and terrifying. The story begins at the dawn of mythical time, when the Olympian gods overthrew the old order of the Titans. After this cosmic victory, the three mighty brothers, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, drew lots to divide dominion over the world. Zeus became lord of the sky, Poseidon of the seas, and Hades was granted the domain beneath, the unseen realm of the dead. Thus, Hades' kingdom was symbolically established as a somber domain beneath the earth, at the margins of the known world. In the view of the ancient Greeks, it was one of the three great realms of existence, alongside the heavens and the sea. From the very beginning, Hades, the god, ruled as the absolute king of this land of souls, alongside his queen Persephone, whom he brought to his world through a fabled abduction carried out with Zeus's consent. Society in Hades bore little resemblance to mortal cities, yet the Greeks often imagined it in familiar terms. Poets described the house of Hades like a king's court, with a dark palace, guarded gates, and even ghostly orchards and herds, a dark mirror of the earth's bounty. Order was strictly maintained by Hades, an unyielding ruler who ensured that no soul ever left his realm once entered, harshly punishing any attempt to escape or defy the laws of death. Around his throne stood the judges of the dead, Minos, Iarchus, and Rhadamanthys, charged with dispensing justice in the afterlife, sending souls on the proper path according to the lives they had led. Initially, in Homeric belief, all the dead led the same shadowy existence. Later, the idea emerged that souls were judged and separated, with the virtuous kept apart from the wicked and punished accordingly. Thus, Hades' realm evolved from a simple gathering of shades into a complex vision of reward and retribution beyond the grave. Belief in Hades also directly influenced the funerary customs of the ancient Greeks. People buried their dead with care, placing a coin, an obol, as payment for the ferryman Charon, for it was believed that without this fare, the soul could not safely cross the boundary between life and death. Such rituals show how real and present the subterranean realm was in the everyday thought of the people of that time. Numerous sacred myths shrouded Hades' kingdom in an aura of mystery and reverent fear. One of the most important legends is that of Persephone, the daughter of the goddess Demeter, who was abducted by Hades to be his wife and queen. Demeter's immeasurable grief over her daughter's loss brought barrenness to the earth until a divine compromise was reached. Persephone would spend one part of the year in Hades and the other part on the surface, thus explaining the cycle of the seasons. The courage of ancient heroes was often measured by their descent into the underworld, katabasis. Orpheus, the mythical musician, dared to traverse the darkness of the depths to retrieve his wife, Eurydice, softening even the stone-cold hearts of Hades and Persephone with the music of his lyre. Orpheus earned permission to lead Eurydice back into the light, on the condition that he not look back at her until both had left the realm of the dead. Sadly, overcome by doubt, Orpheus broke that command and lost his beloved forever before leaving Hades' domain, leaving behind a bitter lesson about disobedience to the divine. Other daring mortals, such as Heracles or Odysseus, also dared to cross the threshold of the underworld, confirming that this realm was seen as the ultimate test of heroism. Hades was also the place where the souls of sinners paid their endless punishments for their misdeeds. Sisyphus was condemned to push a boulder up a hill forever, and Tantalus to suffer eternal hunger and thirst beneath fruits he could never reach. Examples of the gods' unforgiving justice in the hereafter. Such legends illustrate the moral values of the Greeks. Grievous sins earned eternal torment, while courage and virtue could offer the hope of a brighter existence in the land of the dead, like that of the Elysian fields. Though Hades as a place did not raise monuments or command trade empires like the cities of the living, Greek civilization still attributed to it a series of remarkable achievements through its influence on culture and thought. First and foremost, the vision of a structured and organized afterlife was a notable contribution of Greek imagination. Hades was divided into distinct regions, from the dark abyss of Tartarus for the worst evildoers to the sunlit Elysian fields for the virtuous, with the neutral stretches of the asphodel meadows for ordinary souls, and even special areas reserved for those consumed by. This segmented conception reflected the belief that merit and justice prevail even beyond the grave. In the classical era, philosophical schools and mystical cults, such as Orphism and the Pythagoreans, enriched these beliefs further, speaking of the judgment of souls, cycles of purification, and reincarnation. From a material perspective, Hades himself bore the epithet Pluton, the wealthy one, since the Greeks recognized that from the depths of the earth, his domain, came both fertile crops and precious metals. Thus, although feared as the god of death, Hades was also respected as the silent provider of hidden abundance beneath the soil. The Eleusinian mysteries, initiatory rites related to Demeter and Persephone, even promised their devotees the hope of happiness in the afterlife, soothing the fear of death with the promise of blessed renewal. The Greeks sometimes attempted to communicate with the world of the dead. At the Necromanteon on the banks of the Charon River, regarded in antiquity as a gateway to Hades, pilgrims performed elaborate rituals to summon the shadows of the departed. The ruins of this oracle, discovered by archaeologists near the former lake Acherusia, seem to confirm these ancient practices. Today, however, the once dreaded waters of the Acheron have become a picturesque adventure destination where tourists go rafting through spectacular gorges. What in the past inspired fear and veneration has metamorphosed in the present into a place of recreation, proof of how myth and reality can coexist and transform over time. Unlike the lost cities of antiquity, Hades' realm did not disappear in a physical sense. It always existed as an idea and a place in the collective imagination. However, belief in its power gradually waned as eras and religions changed. As Christianity spread throughout the Mediterranean world, the old gods and their realm began to fade from public consciousness. Hades, once a spiritual certainty for pagans, was replaced by new concepts of heaven and hell. In early Christian writings, the term Hades was used to denote the abode of the dead, but with a transformed meaning. It became more a temporary place of waiting for the last judgment. Christian law even speaks of triumph over the underworld, the moment when Jesus descends into the depths to free the souls of the righteous, a sign that in the new faith, Hades' power had been overcome forever. Meanwhile, the temples and oracles dedicated to the underworld were abandoned or destroyed, and the cult of Pluto was banned as the Roman Empire embraced Christianity. The gates of that ancient kingdom were shut not by some spell, but by the loss of people's faith in it. In this way, the fall of the mythical city of Hades can be seen as the moment it ceased to be nourished by human fear and reverence, becoming nothing more than a legendary relic in posterity's memory. Hades' legacy endures to this day, echoing from a mythical civilization that shaped humanity's ideas about life and death. Although the beliefs of ancient Greece have faded, the story of this underworld kingdom continues to captivate the imagination. In literature, art, and popular culture, Hades remains a symbol of the unknown beyond the grave, a blend of fear and curiosity. Its characters, from the dark god-king to the heroes who traversed his domain, appear in countless books, films, and even video games. The ancient imagery still speaks to us. Today, when we utter the name Hades, we think not only of the god and the legendary realm of antiquity, but also of the universally human idea of a place of final judgment and rest for souls. As our epic journey comes to an end, the sense of wonder persists. Looking back at the grim majesty of this mythic realm, we are invited to reflect on our own notions of life, death, and what might lie beyond. Hades, with its unseen gates and forgotten rivers, remains a powerful metaphor for the impenetrable mystery that has inspired so many generations. We close the gates of this journey with one last glance into the darkness, not with fear, but with reverence, knowing that legends have a life of their own, and as long as they are told, they never truly perish.